What is up everyone? Welcome back to another video on TPL Locs. Today I want to review two Instagram models. Their names are Elizabeth and Victoria. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their last name.
Lejonhjärta.
Exactly, we're going to look at their locks, so stay tuned. Alright, so as you can see, Elizabeth and Victoria, two very beautiful models, have super long locks. You can't really see it in this picture, but if I go to the next picture, you can see that they have locks that are way past waist length, more like hip length. Elizabeth and Victoria are from Sweden. They are identical twins and they post amazing self-portraits of themselves on their Instagram page. Many of you probably wonder what their background is. They live in Sweden and they grew up in Sweden, but they also have ancestry in Gambia, Senegal, and they themselves say that they grew up in a household that was semi-Caribbean. So they've spent a lot of times in the woods, in the Sweden beautiful woods and the mountains. They love to hang out in cottages and they make bonfires. They've had locks since they were 10 years old. Their mother started their locks. They don't really disclose how they started their locks, but as you can see here, it's really interesting to see that the hair in the front for both of these ladies seem pretty loose hair. And then the rest of their hair is very much locked. So we can already kind of see their hair texture. And just looking at this makes me think that they probably used some type of tool to lock their hair, because their hair looks very fine, very straight, fair hair. And from my experience, fair hair doesn't lock as easily as coarser hair types. So I think they might have used some tools like a crochet hook or interlocking or twist and rip to get these locks started. Now that these locks are this long, I don't think they have to use those tools anymore, and especially because they really embrace the frizzy look, which is really cool. So here we see either Victoria or Elizabeth, and you can see up close how her locks are formed. Some of them are quite thin, some of them are a bit thicker, like you see right here. And like I said before, they really rock the frizzy look. And they even went on the cover of a Swedish magazine where their hair was purposely made frizzy for the cover, which I think is really cool. We'll get to that in a second. Here you can see them next to each other again. They wear their hair up a lot, and since the front of their hair is not really locked up, they really can have different styles of wearing their locks. So they can wear them down and not put anything in their hair, and it looks a bit more free-formed, a bit more frizzy, a bit more carefree. Or they can use some kind of hair gel or hair moisturizer to make the front of their hair look way more neat and pull it up, in this case, into a ponytail. So it is a very multifunctional way of rocking locks, I'd say. In this picture, they did a campaign for Calvin Klein, and you can see how long their locks are. I think their locks are so dope that they've been able to grow them since they were 10 years old. I don't think I would have the patience to have such long locks, because imagine having to wash those locks. It'll probably take you a long time to get that whole process started. If you do have the patience to do this, you'll end up with sick looking locks. This is probably for another campaign. They always kind of pose the same way together, which makes for really great pictures in my opinion. But here you can also really appreciate the hair color that they have. It's probably a brownish color, but because of the sun and because of the sun bleaching the hair, you get this beautiful variation in tones of brown. This picture is mainly for the length check, because you can see that their dreadlocks don't even make it to the end of the picture. They keep going. It seems like they are halfway to the thigh, which again, I'm admiring the length that they have. I do wonder if they struggle with breaking of hair, breakage, because if your locks get this long, you might have a little bit of tension on your head. I'm not really sure. I've never had locks this long, but I can imagine that you can start to have issues because they become longer after a while. I know some people cut their locks a little bit shorter for that reason, but I really couldn't say, generally speaking. In this picture, you see that they have the Princess Leia style going on. One of them is even wearing a Princess Leia t-shirt, which is pretty cool. And again, you see the variation in hairstyles. They wear it down, they wear it up in a ponytail. They make these Princess Leia knots. And yeah, I think they're giving locks a great name because they've been featured in campaigns with H&M, with Calvin Klein. They've been in a music video with Drake. I have a picture of that as well, so we'll get to that pretty soon. And here their hair is up in one bun on the top of their head. And again, you can see that they use the loose hair in the front to create that neat look, which I think is always pretty cool. Here's just another picture where you can appreciate the hair color and the baby hairs that they use to create a different kind of look. And you can see that Elizabeth or Victoria, the one on the left, has braided her hair. Yeah, they really put a lot of effort into the different hairstyles that they wear. Another picture here with the half bun. Half of it is up in a bun and the rest is just hanging down until kind of past their shoulders. And here you can really see that their hair is so long, because if you can create a bun on the top of your head and then still have locks way past your shoulders, your hair is pretty super long. This is them in a probably very Swedish background with the snow somewhere in the woods. They're wearing the same thing. They often wear the same thing. This might have been for a campaign, but I'm not really sure. You can see all of these pictures on their Instagram. I'll put their handle in the screen right now, so you can follow them and see more pictures. This is a picture I was talking about with Drake. I think they were featured in one of his music videos. And yeah, I mean, they look like superstars. And I think it's cool that you see more and more people with locks in media. They're represented in media in different ways, not only with freeform locks, but also unique hairstyles like theirs. And I think that's pretty awesome. So in this picture, you can clearly see that one of the two up top here is she curled her loose hairs, and then her locks are just coming down here on the back. And I thought it was a unique way of rocking locks, so I just wanted to show you that. And then this is the cover that I was talking about, the Swedish cover, where it seems like they've purposefully made their hair more frizzy and used it as a look, which I think is cool, because I know a lot of people with locks, they don't want to have that frizzy look, but here they're actually emphasizing those frizzies by featuring them on a cover of a magazine. So their brother also has locks, and he has the same thing going on. He has super long locks. Some of them are thick, some of them are more thin, and he has that loose hair on the top of his head. Here you can see the three of them next to each other. I think the brother has awesome locks as well. I'd love to do a lock episode on him. If you'd like to see that, let me know in the comments below so we can make that happen. Here you can see that most of their family has locks. I think they even said in an interview that their parents have locks as well. So this is one big lock family. And then lastly, we have this picture where you can truly see how long their locks are. Although this picture is from a few months, maybe even a few years back. So I can imagine that their locks are a bit longer now. But I mean, it already looks super long in my opinion. And here you can also see that the sun kind of bleached the ends of their locks. So you get that awesome dark brown to light brown variation when you wear your locks and you let the sun bleach it, which I think looks really cool. So that's it for this lock review. If you have any suggestions for people that we should review on this channel, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next TPL Locs episode. Peace.